Go
You
ahead.
got, are you got to do DJ or band? Are you thinking about all this stuff?
Yeah, I think we're live music kind of
Yes.
people, you know. So
I've seen you perform. You have
Yeah.
to.
Figure out like ways to make sure that I do have things that are just between us. And thankfully, we do have a lot of those things. And that moment in particular is one that's always just going to.
Favorite divorce lawyer, I have a piece of advice for these folks, and that is get a giant prenup.
I think she should go
I
with.
think there'll be just one.
Ooh.
But that would be my guess.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Okay, let's be honest. Ever since that ring landed on Taylor Swift's finger, the internet has been in full meltdown mode. Swifties, NFL fans, gossip bloggers, and even your aunt who's never watched a game in her life all want to know the same thing. What's the wedding going to look like? When's it happening? Will it be a private, candlelit ceremony or a royal-scale extravaganza? Are we talking full-on Cinderella ball or a quiet ocean view elopement? While Taylor and Travis haven't dropped official invites yet, the clues are everywhere. If you connect the dots in between interviews, posts, and the subtle hints only true Swifties catch, you start to realize we actually know more than it seems. First off, the proposal itself already tells a story. According to insiders, and by insiders, I mean either close friends or extremely confident anonymous Reddit sources, which in Swiftie world, both count, the big moment didn't happen on a private island or under the Eiffel Tower. It happened right at home, in the backyard of Travis Kelce's mansion, surrounded by flowers in a garden he secretly had redone just for the occasion. The ring? Not flashy by celebrity standards and not even Taylor's usual style. It was sentimental, classic, vintage-inspired, the kind of piece that says forever, not headline. Rumor has it Travis worked with a jeweler who's designed for actual royalty, think timeless, not tabloid, and that theme might just carry over to the wedding itself, with whispers that Taylor plans to invite none other than Prince William and Kate Middleton. More on that later. When they announced the news, their caption read, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." That's them in a nutshell. A global superstar and an NFL icon acting like the couple next door. The moment wasn't performative. It was romantic, grounded, and real. And that gives us the biggest clue yet about the kind of wedding they're planning. Taylor's even dropped a few hints herself. Subtle ones, of course. On the Graham Norton show, when asked if she'd keep the guest list small, she laughed and said that if she had to decide who made the cut, she'd lose her mind. Translation? It's going to be huge. Huge.
I know it's going to be fun to plan. Because I think the only stressful weddings are the ones where you have a small amount and people are on the bubble. And you have to evaluate or assess your relationship with them to see if they should be there. Anyone I've ever talked
Like, that's not even subtle. That's either a warning or a promise, depending on how you look at it. Taylor basically confirmed she wants the kind of wedding where no one's feelings get hurt because everyone is invited, which is fascinating because that implies something massive. A guest list big enough to rival an award show, yet still personal enough not to feel like a PR stunt. And then there's Travis. Oh, Travis. On his New Heights podcast, he tried to play it cool, acting like wedding planning was some far-off concept, saying, "I gotta win a football game first." Classic deflection. But as always, it's what he didn't say that really stood out. He confirmed they're not rushing, that there's music to pick, and that there will definitely be live performances. And let's be real. When Taylor Swift is the bride, and she's just wrapped the most iconic tour of all time, she's not walking down the aisle to a Spotify playlist. This wedding's going to sound like a cinematic moment. Picture strings, acoustic renditions of her own songs, maybe even a live choir. Or, and this is where the Swiftie imagination runs wild, maybe Bon Iver appears out of nowhere to perform an acoustic version of Exile while Taylor walks in slow motion toward Travis. Who knows? But one thing's for sure. It won't just be a wedding. It'll be a Taylor Swift event.
Are you got to do DJ or band? Are you thinking about all this stuff?
Yeah, I think we're live music kind of people, you know. So
I've seen you perform. You have to.
But whatever it ends up being, you can bet it'll be orchestrated down to the heartbeat. Because if there's one thing Taylor knows how to do, it's tell a story. And her wedding will be no exception. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The location. All signs, whispers, and conveniently timed anonymous tips point straight to Taylor's Rhode Island mansion. You know the one. Holiday House. The backdrop of her legendary 4th of July parties. The one with the sweeping ocean views, the white stone steps, and just enough privacy to keep the paparazzi drones at a respectful distance. Even Rhode Island's governor joined the speculation parade. dropping a very on-brand hint about how the state has some of the best wedding venues in the world. Translation: We'd love the tourism boost if you do it here, Miss Swift. And honestly, it makes perfect sense. Taylor's deeply attached to that place. It's where she's written songs, recovered from heartbreaks, and hosted those famously all-white beach parties with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. It's not just a property, it's a chapter of her story. And maybe now, the setting where she becomes a wife. As for the when, Swifties are in full detective mode. The most logical prediction, and yes, these are guesses grounded in patterns, not delusion, is early to mid-2026. Why? Because Taylor's wrapping her current album era, and if there's one thing she never does, it's mix major life events with promo cycles. Travis's NFL season would also be over by then, making a spring or summer wedding prime time. Of course, fans being fans, they've gone full astrology and numerology on this. Some are betting on June 2026, others insist it'll be exactly 13 months after the engagement, because, well, Taylor and her number 13 are inseparable. Meanwhile, dress designers are already losing composure. Vera Wang literally said she predicts multiple gowns. Not one, not two, but 3 or more. Costume changes, but bridal. Because when Taylor Swift says I do, it's not just a wedding. It's an era.
What do you think she should go with? There'll be just one.
Ooh.
But that would be my guess.
Yeah.
I would think so.
And honestly, if you followed any of Taylor's tour eras, this all tracks perfectly. The woman lives for a cinematic moment. Expect a full narrative arc told through wardrobe changes. She'll probably start in something ethereal and romantic. Think lace, chiffon, maybe a veil that catches the ocean breeze just right. Then transition into a sleek, glam look for the reception and finally end the night in something sparkly and dance-ready. The kind of dress that says I just married my soulmate. Now cue the after party, and because this is Taylor, you just know there will be Easter eggs everywhere. A lyric stitched into the hem. A shade of gold that matches the love story music video. Maybe even a subtle nod to Enchanted. For her, fashion isn't just fabric, it's storytelling. Every button, every thread means something. Now, the guest list. Oh, it's going to be wild. The usual A-list suspects? Absolutely. Selena Gomez, the Haim sisters, Gigi Hadid, Sophie Turner, all locks. But then add Travis's circle. Patrick and Brittany Mahomes. The entire Chiefs' offensive line, because you know they're not missing this. And of course, Jason Kelce, probably in a suit one size too tight and still somehow stealing every camera shot. The vibe? Football meets fairy tale. It's the kind of mix that could only exist in the Swift-Kelce universe, where game day grit meets storybook glamour. Honestly, if Netflix doesn't swoop in for a post-wedding documentary, it'll be a cultural crime. And just when fans thought the family couldn't be more excited, Jason Kelce let something slip on his podcast. Apparently, their mom Donna has already started asking about wedding dates. And, not so casually, grandkids. Classic mom move. It's clear the Kelces aren't just ready for the wedding, they're already thinking legacy.
Always had Travis number one. I do know.
Listen, and right now, mom has Jason number one because he has kids.
That is true. She has said that. She has made that comment. She's put some pressure.
Donna's already been dropping the kind of hints only a proud mom can get away with. She's been quoted saying she hopes the wedding feels classic and fun, adding that she completely trusts Taylor to plan something elegant, which, let's be honest, sounds like mom code for I'm ready whenever you are. Jason even joked on their podcast that she's probably already bought her dress. We're not saying Donna has a Pinterest board titled Taylor and Travis Wedding Vibes, but if she does, who could blame her? And then there's the practical side, the business of being in love. Word around the industry is that a prenup is at least being discussed. Nothing confirmed, but it wouldn't be surprising. Together, Taylor and Travis are worth roughly $1.6 billion. That's not just a relationship. That's a merger of two empires. And when empires merge, so do their legal teams. The kind of lawyers who can write a prenup that sounds halfway between a love letter and a corporate treaty. Romantic? Maybe not. Smart? Absolutely.
Your favorite divorce lawyer, I have a piece of advice for these folks, and that is get a giant prenup, because both of you are independently wealthy and there's really no need whatsoever to create marital property or jointly held property like community property. So a prenup that turns that definition on its head would be a wise move, where you basically say every piece of property you gain or purchase during your marriage is default non-marital or separate property.
And that's exactly why this moment feels different, almost cinematic in how carefully it's being built. Taylor isn't just planning a wedding. She's crafting a legacy moment, one she can control down to the finest detail. Fans can theorize all they want, secret ceremonies, double celebrations, surprise elopements, but that uncertainty? It's intentional. Taylor's silence is her strategy. Every time she doesn't post, every rumor she doesn't confirm, it only adds to the anticipation. And honestly, it's working. The buzz around this wedding has already reached Super Bowl levels, fitting considering who she's marrying. The difference is, this halftime show comes with better lighting, real emotion, and no wardrobe malfunctions. Sources close to elite event planners say Taylor and Travis have already enlisted the best of the best, the same names behind Beyoncé's private events and Kim Kardashian's famously extravagant parties. Venues have been scouted across both coasts and even abroad, but all signs still point to Rhode Island. It's more than a property to her, it's a piece of her story. The secrecy surrounding it all borders on presidential. NDAs thicker than novels. Airspace restrictions rumored. Staff briefed to treat the occasion like a national secret. But that's the beauty of it. Taylor's no longer letting the media define her moments. She's designing them, protecting them, and delivering them when she decides. And when that wedding day finally arrives, it won't just be about I do. It'll be about how Taylor Swift, once the tabloid girl next door, turned love itself into her most powerful era yet.
Figure out like ways to make sure that I do have things that are just between us. And thankfully, we do have a lot of those things. And that moment in particular is one that's always just going to.
Travis Kelce, meanwhile, has been managing the sports side of his life with the same quiet precision that Taylor brings to her music. While Taylor fine-tunes melodies, Travis has been just as intentional with his career playbook, ensuring every move on the field aligns with the new chapter unfolding off it. Sources close to the Chiefs say he's already in talks about taking personal leave for the 2026 season to guarantee he's fully present for the big day.